คุณกำลังฟังสถานีวิทยุ AM 1575 กิโลเฮิรตซ์สรานรมเรดิโอวิทยุการทูตเพื่อประชาชนเชื่อมไทยสู่โลกเชื่อมโลกสู่ไทย
สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome back to Inside MFA with me สิริสาประชุมญาติ Inside MFA is on air every Friday from 6 to 6:30 a.m. bright and early. So if you are an early riser, be sure to check out Inside MFA right here on Sarandrom Radio at 1575 kilohertz. You can always check out our website at Sarandrom, sarandrom.mfa.gov.th as well if you are those who doesn't really like to listen to traditional radio. I'm guessing that you can always listen back to all of our programs on Sarandrom Radio right here. Sarandrom is spelled S-A-R-A-N-R-O-M radio at the back. So if you haven't liked us or give us a thumbs up, be sure to do so on our Facebook page at Sarandrom Radio as well as our YouTube channel, Sarandrom Radio also. So we have all these programs catered to meet the demands of different people, diverse groups of people of what they need. We have things ranging from legal affairs, consular affairs, as well as a program teaching you Myanmar. So if you're interested in those, be sure to check out Sarandrom Radio, and it's on air from Monday through Fridays from bright and early from 6 in the morning until 10 p.m. at night. So be sure to check out all of our programs because you are our biggest supporters. If you give us a thumbs up, so follow us and subscribe, we'll always be here to give you information and insights into the MFA life or what we do as diplomats on a day-to-day basis. Right, the weather. For a few days now, I mean, the rainy season was supposed to end. It rained just a minute ago. I mean, or rather last night. But we're supposed to be heading into the winter season, and if you're living up in the northern part of Thailand, you'll be experiencing some cooler weather, especially in the morning. I mean, it's going to be cooler. I mean, it's cooler now, talking about it, because it's 6:30 in the morning, right? So it's a bit cooler now, right? And, I mean, you get to enjoy a bit of the chilly weather or the winter weather, so to speak. But we are in Thailand, and we are I am living in Bangkok, so it's not going to get that cold anyway. So, the weather's still pretty nice, being in winter and all, so a bit sunny, especially when you get into the afternoon, like midday. But the sky is actually getting clearer because it's winter time, and the sun goes down quicker than usual if you guys haven't noticed, but I have. So, if you're driving back from work or from wherever, around 5 p.m., you'll see that the sun is starting to set, which is typical of the winter weather, even if Thailand doesn't have one per se. Anyway, climate change is the reason for all these changes, but I guess in a sense, it's a good thing for some places. I wouldn't say all places. We are affected across the board with climate change. I mean, you get hotter weather than usual, you get more rainy season than usual, and you get colder season than usual. So in a sense, it's better for Thailand because it's always hot all year round. So with a bit more of, the winter weather, it's better than not having winter at all. But for some other places, it might get too cold, or it might be too hot in the summer. So, oh well, we're doing our best. I guess all we have to do now is just cope, basically. Anyway, on to some updates I have today. But before we get into that, I'm actually at the last juncture of my training for posting. So I'm actually leaving for posting in December, right a bit after mid-December. And this is going to be my first post, and it's going to be to Kunming in China. If I'm asked whether or not I'm excited, I am. But I'm more nervous because, I've been to China, of course, but I've never really lived there, and I don't speak Chinese. I learned Chinese. I took 60 hours of Chinese, so I know I'm not going to starve or anything. But it's a bit nerve-wracking because I don't speak Chinese, and people in China, even though they do speak English, they tend to speak Chinese more than not. It's just like Japanese and Koreans as well. But for Korean and Japanese, I do have basic more, I pretty much have the basic vocabulary of a day-to-day life kind of set because I took Japanese for a while. I took Korean while I was doing my bachelor degree, and Chinese is all new to me. I always enjoy learning a new language because you just don't learn the language, you learn something else behind the language, which is always fun, and I pick up language pretty fast, which is pretty cool, but still, it's a bit nerve-wracking because I don't remember anything that I've learned for the past 60 hours or so. So it's going to be a new experience. I'm kind of looking forward to it, sort of. I don't want to leave my mum here, but I'll be there for 4 years. I know she'll be visiting often because it's not far away at all. It's only 2.5 hours away by plane. And you can always catch a train ride from Vientiane, not straight from Thailand, I'm afraid. But if you're always trying to travel up all the way from Laos, PDR, all the way up to China in Kunming, you can do so now. It's a 10-hour train ride, but if you enjoy the scenery along the way, it could be a good experience. But yeah, all that aside, I am looking forward to it. Sort of excited, sort of. It's a mixed feeling right now. Anyway, back to training. So this is my last chapter of training. I have one more training left to do, or 1 day left of training to do. So we've been learning a few different things. As we do work, we kind of gather information and knowledge in different fields that we were actually responsible for. So training is a good way of, kind of slowing down, taking in the bigger picture of what you'll be doing, especially as diplomats abroad where you're posted. So hopefully I will be able to do my job well and carry out my responsibility at the best of my ability. Fingers crossed, you guys. Please cheer for me. I don't know if I'm going to, I'll try to do the best I can. I can't really say if it's going to be well enough, but I'll give it 110% as I always do. It's a bit nerve-wracking, like I've said. I can't believe I only have like a month left here. I'm always going to be home. I'll always fly home in a few months' time or so, because it's not so far away, but it's still kind of weird. Because we always, I live in a diplomatic family. We always moved, but we've always moved as a family. So dad and mum always been there, and my little sister too. So this will be the first time ever. Well, it's not the first time. The first time ever that I moved cross country, or rather across the globe. It was to study last year, 2 years ago actually. In 2021. That was the first time I moved abroad by myself. But it was a short time because I was studying. So yeah, this is going to be a long move. And this is going to be my first long move away from the family without mum and dad and little sister being there 24/7. Right. It's a bit overwhelming, isn't it? Now that it's close. Anyway, new experiences are good. I'll enjoy it, I swear. But anyway, on to some updates I have for signing off today. So at the beginning of the month, His Excellency Mr. Lu Xinjian, Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committees of the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China, or PRC, paid a courtesy call on His Excellency Mr. Jakkapong Sangmani, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs at the Ministry, His Excellency Mrs. Pikun Kao Krai Chairwoman of the Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency Mr. Rat Jalitantra, Advisor to the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, also attended the meeting. Both sides attached importance to strengthening Thailand-China comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership, and the building of a Thailand-China community with a shared future for enhanced stability, prosperity, and sustainability, as mandated by the leaders of both countries. Both sides agreed to enhance exchanges of high-level visits, as well as trade, investment, connectivity, and tourism cooperation. They also commended the long-standing parliamentary ties and friendship, and agreed to continue promoting more exchanges between their respective legislative bodies including at the community level. Furthermore, both sides emphasized the importance of sharing experiences on national development, in particular poverty alleviation, digital economy, as well as science, technology, and innovation development. Chairman Liu is paying a visit to Thailand, or has been paying a visit to Thailand from November the 8th until the 12th, as a guest of the Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs. This courtesy call is also a follow-up of the meeting between Prime Minister Seth Thavisin and His Excellency Dao Lerji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, during the Prime Minister's official visit to China between October the 16th until the 19th. So it was last month. So yeah, official visits. It's always an exchange of visits. So once you've been there or they've been here, we'll always do an exchange and we kind of reciprocate visits, kind of. But yeah, so that is what is going on right here. So it's just forging ties, bridging gaps, bridging relationship, creating stronger bonds. The more bilateral bonds that you have and more people that you see, the more things you can put on the table in a sense. So that's what diplomats do on a daily basis. So we're there. Well, this is actually the deputy foreign minister. So he's there as the head of the representing the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But we have officers there listening to what's going on. So, like I said, we're just forging ties and strengthening relationship, existing ones that already have, or maybe just forging new ones if we haven't had a relationship before, and diplomatic ties, of course. So it would be easier for talks once we need to talk. It will be easier to branch out cooperation once we need more cooperation. So these are just stepping stones or steps that we take just to build a stronger relationship between two countries, basically. So that we do on a daily basis. Just be two people on the ground, basically, or at the officers level. That's bridging ties. And it's just easier when you need, ways or pathways to talk things out. It's your friend, it's your colleague right here. You know this person. So it's easier to talk it through. So that's one of those things that we always do. And national days. We always attend national days. We get invited, especially if you're a desk officer looking after bilateral relations. You get invited to national days. And we also do that if we are, stationed abroad, and we also invite our counterparts to our national days too. So it's the same thing. And at national days, it's a day for showcasing what each country have, basically. So, yeah. So, on November the 8th, Her Excellency Ms. Pusadi Santipitak, Deputy Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs, attended the reception to commemorate the National Day of Panama, celebrated in Panama's Month of the Fatherland, a period full of historical significance for Panama. On behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Deputy Permanent Secretary, or DPS, delivered congratulatory remarks, stressing Thailand's commitment to further enhance Thailand-Panama cooperation, particularly in new areas of mutual interest, including culture, fishery, and logistics. It depends if we want to invite anybody to give a speech. I guess this is important because we want to forge closer ties, and it's an honor to be able to give a speech, right? So this is what we do. Now, His Excellency Mr. Sarancharan Suwan, Permanent Secretary of PS for Foreign Affairs of Thailand, co-chaired the fourth policy consultation between Thailand and the Republic of Korea, or ROK, with His Excellency Mr. Chang Ho-jin, First Vice Minister of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the ROK, at Satthabongkot Road, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Thailand, to discuss way forward in advancing the strategic partnership between Thailand and ROK, and to review progress under their 5-year joint action plan towards strengthening strategic partnership from between 2022 to 2027. Now, both sides exchanged views on key bilateral issues to enhance cooperation in political, security, and military aspects, and particularly how to maximize their economic potentials. They noted the prospects towards concluding a bilateral economic partnership agreement, or EPA, which they agreed could help boost two-way flows of trade and investment. They also discussed the possibilities for increased Korean investment in Thailand, particularly in electric vehicles, or EV, and related industries. infrastructure development including the Land Bridge project, and public health cooperation. They also had in-depth exchanges on regional developments, including the situation in Myanmar, Korean Peninsula, Ukraine, and the Middle East. In addition, both sides discussed cooperation in consular affairs and issues related to employment, culture, education, tourism, and people-to-people exchange. They agreed to cooperate closely to resolve some outstanding issues regarding genuine Thai travelers being denied entry into ROK, as well as the undocumented Thai workers in the ROK. In this regard, it was recommended that the sixth consular consultation between their respective consular departments be convened as soon as possible. This was to be hosted by the ROK. Both sides also agreed to upgrade the policy consultation mechanism to a strategic dialogue to reflect the actual nature and focus of the discussions. After the meeting, the Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs of Thailand and the First Vice President of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the ROK signed a Memorandum of Understanding on academic exchange and cooperation between the Korean National Diplomatic Academy (KNDA) and the Tewawong Waropakan Institute of Foreign Affairs or the VIFA to promote cooperation in diplomat training through exchanges of experts and researchers, as well as research materials and publications. So yeah, see, we can always put on the table more cooperation in various fields and aspects as well, and on various issues. Now it's on trainings, which will be beneficial to diplomats back in Bangkok as well as in the UK. Because if we do exchanges, it's not just, having them over or us going over, but it's an exchange of culture, it's an exchange of tradition, it's an exchange of goodwill, and it's an exchange, or rather a forging of ties on the ground. Because you can't always do things at the top level. You can, you might sometimes have to work that way through from the bottom all the way to the top. And this is what we do. We forge ties. Anyway, two more updates. At the beginning of the month, Director General of the Department of International Economic Affairs shared the webinar on fostering climate action through investment treaties, organized in partnership with the OECD and UNCTAD. The webinar, attended by over 100 participants from government agencies, private sector, civil society and academic circle, addressed the key question of how to utilize investment treaties to drive climate action. Now, the speakers included experts from the OECD and UNCTAD. Also present was His Excellency Mrs. Vilawan Mangkalatanakul, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Thailand to the United Nations Office and other international organizations in Vienna, a member of the International Law Commission, who shared her thoughts and experiences from the perspective of a negotiator and practitioner. There was an exchange of views on Thailand's path towards carbon neutrality by 2050 through promotion and facilitation of green investment, transfer of technology, transition to clean energy, and promotion of green finance in alignment with the Paris Agreement, as well as promotion of sustainable and responsible investment. The webinar is the first session of the MFA Talk Series, Investment Treaty in Action, organized by the Department of International Economic Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which serves as a platform to share information and exchange ideas among various Thai stakeholders on the evolving role of investment treaties in achieving economic development and other public policy objectives. The next episode will address the role of investment treaties in promoting sustainable development and responsible investment. Details will be available in due course. I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to fly through this last update here. So, on November 7th, at the reception, His Excellency Mr. Saranjaran Suwan, Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs, hosted an introductory reception in honor of His Excellency Mr. Panpri Pahithanukan Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Jakapong Sangmuni, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Sihasapong Kiatgao, Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Marit Sang Iampongsa, Advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Ms. Chayika Wongnapat-Chan, Advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Ms. Kanpakamon Sopat Pirunnasak, Advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Rat Jalitantra advisor to the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Thanarat Jong Suttanamani, Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Mr. Chawarat Uratyanantana, Assistant Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs at Vitet Samosan. The reception was well attended by over 200 heads of diplomatic missions, consular representatives, and international organizations in Thailand, as well as executives of the ministry. On this occasion, His Excellency Dr. Joji Samuel, Ambassador of Malaysia to Thailand and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, extended his warm congratulations to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, and their close aides, while expressing confidence in Thailand's leading role in the region, particularly on the economic fronts. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs took this opportunity to underscore four-pronged approaches of Thailand's proactive foreign policy, including promoting economic security and prosperity for tangible benefits of the Thai people, taking new initiatives and approaches while it matters to stay on top of global radar screen, being forward-looking and addressing current and future challenges to peace, progress, and the prosperity of the region and the world at large, and finally expanding the network of friends by strengthening existing partnership and forging new friendship for mutual benefits. Meanwhile, heads of diplomatic missions, consular representatives, and international organizations exchanged views with the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs on current issues of common interests. They also hailed the reception as a memorable event with warm and friendly atmosphere and trusted that under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, the relations and cooperative efforts between Thailand and their respective countries will be further enhanced. So yeah, we do introductories as well, especially now that we have the new government and the elected new government, and the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs has recently been appointed, and he hasn't had a proper or an official introduction to the diplomatic corps and the head of the diplomatic missions here in Thailand yet. So we took this opportunity to do that, to strengthen the relationship and of course cooperation and cooperative measures between both sides and all those diplomatic missions and diplomatic corps stationed here in Thailand, because from here on out they will have to be cooperating with us to get things going, to forge ties, to get things bilateral relations going, to get talks going. So yeah, we'll do that just to give them the opportunity to learn more about or get to know the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, better, and to get to know them, to get to see what they look like, to see who they are, mingle, and just chit chat basically. Anyway, running out of time here. Fun facts: a cat has 32 muscles in each ear. Now you cat lovers have to, go and examine whether or not it's true for me, because I wouldn't know. If you touch its ears, I know they like it, but I just don't know if they really have 32 muscles. Maybe you can feel them. Anyway, any quotes? Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. And this is from Pele. So he's saying that success doesn't come easy. You have to work at it. You have to persevere. You have to be patient, and you can't give up. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you have to love it, because without the love of something that you do, you won't be able to stand it, and you won't be able to persevere. And that's all I have for you guys this week. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend as well, because it is Friday, and I'll be back next week, and it's the last week I'll be hosting the show, so hopefully I'll have something for you guys, more fun things I suppose, I hope as well. Anyway, have a great weekend, have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you again next week. สวัสดีค่ะ